You're listening to 3 on 1. Your hosts are
Steve Cito,
Cole Parkinson,
and
Matthew Carell.
yeah, baby! It's time!
Hello, everyone.
hello.
Oh boy,
How you doing there?
I'm struggling.
Well, that's okay.
Oh,
I'm not typically on there all the time, so. Hey,
you know who wasn't
Look who's
struggling
here.
though?
Who?
The Kodiak women's.
No, not at all.
the basketball teams?
Yeah,
Whew.
the women's basketball team did not struggle.
No, they certainly did
at
not.
all.
No.
27 wins, 0 losses, and 0 ties. That
Well, there's no ties in basketball.
it doesn't matter.
I mean,
Doesn't matter. They could. I
mean,
don't know.
you're-
I don't know the full ACAC rules. Like, if they're going to the regular season, they would tie it.
quintuplet overtime.
Yeah.
No, they keep going.
Nah.
Yeah.
There all night.
Yeah.
Just next day.
Yep.
Home and home series. Sorry, we gotta take a little time out. We gotta
It's like a
end
little-
the first game before
Yep.
we can start the
Yeah.
next. But still, 27-0. Like that's
27-0. Yeah, you're right.
It's pretty good.
It sounds better if you had that second 0 though. 27-0 and 0.
And
oh
0.
man,
Yeah, it gets people talking like, wait, what's that second O about? What's the
how many
second
times they cried? 0.
Never.
They don't cry.
Girls don't cry.
No, big girls don't cry.
Hey, isn't that a Fergie song?
100% it is.
I love that song. We
Then
should throw
why,
that.
Then why did he ask what it was?
He's old. His mind's going, man.
I'm just making sure.
Oh,
Honey-o!
Exactly. Honey oat.
honey oat. Yeah.
Did you happen to watch any of those games?
I for sure watched the championship game.
Yeah.
I watched them destroy Dawson Blues.
Yeah.
They made Dawson's Creek out of their tears.
Just a dismantling.
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.
I can't wait for that song to be over. Ooh.
Oh.
I thought you guys were going to join in
Get that garbage out of
and have a little bit of a melody there.
No.
A little medley.
0% chance.
Oh.
Hey, you never know. You never know. One of these days. It's
Having fun, Phil. Thanks, eh? I can't believe that.
I can't believe that either.
Yeah, man. Steve's like, is this thing on? They're not singing with me.
Wait, are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh boy. Little beard scratch
Yeah,
there.
I like the awkward beard scratch.
I felt super awkward too. I'm like, I should probably.
What do you think about the ladies almost losing it against Montreal in the semifinal there?
I thought it was good.
74-70. I mean, that was legit. Probably their first and only test all year.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. That was the closest game by far. I think the closest one before that was, 20 points?
Yeah.
Something like that?
16 maybe.
Yeah, 16 maybe. Yeah.
High tens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Right in the teen.
High tens?
High tens.
He just said high tens.
Again, give him a
So
break.
10.
High 10.
So what? 10.7? Like, what do you mean? High 10.
I don't really know what I'm doing over here.
Oh,
No.
I can
Just
tell.
kind of. I'm not on the board tonight. It's just a weird area.
Or never say that ever again, either. No.
You might have to bring out the mute button here pretty
I
soon.
know. I'm scared. I just feel so bad because he's so old.
I just like this angle where I'm at. I could just stare at you.
I'm so uncomfortable right now. Oh. Sorry, I'm itchy. And
Never not looking at you.
and
Yeah,
then,
that's a right call. That's a right call.
yeah. So the women stayed undefeated. They stayed perfect in their season, Cole.
Yes, sir.
The men not as well in the.
But they should have. They should have went
tournament.
farther.
Yeah.
The first game, just down low shooting.
It's hard when you're not playing good in your first game of the tournament and lose. Like, don't get me wrong, bronze isn't anything to sneeze at, but
don't bring that back.
Hey, you can't jock at me there and bring out the sneeze saying there.
Yeah.
Why? Did you invent the sneeze saying? No, you did not.
No, I like it, but Cole doesn't, and he gets on me every time about it. So
Ooh, I don't care about your guys' relationship right now. I'm trying to talk about basketball.
Yeah, well, also.
Wow, that's a quick hook.
Yeah, so
quick hook on that one.
That one was totally uncalled for. But with the men's,
it was a makeup call from before, I think.
With the men's, in the first game, really, is this how tonight's going to go?
Get out of here. So with the men.
Line change. Let's go.
Jeez. With
Bring
the men,
Tony back.
Can I talk?
I don't know, can you? You've been trying for 15 minutes now.
Because you keep interrupting me. But the men in the first game.
He's out.
So the men in the first game, Steve. I'm sorry. That was the last one. That's the last one. Oh, Steve actually left.
He's gone.
All right, Cole, do you think you know where he was going with that?
Where I think he was going?
Yeah.
Well, what we were talking about, like during watching the games and after the games, was in the paint they were really bad that first game, and that's what hurt them. I don't remember exactly what they shot, but I think it was lower than 30%. It was around, I think, 23, 24%, and that's what hurt them really bad. Is Steve back? No?
Nope.
Yeah, so that's what hurt him in the first game. I mean, they only lost by 2 points, so they should have won that game, really.
Yeah, but they kept... They were... Sorry, I told Steve I forgot how to talk. They kept getting on the line and not getting that either. Like, there's no one even coming at them. You should be able to get those, shouldn't they? Yeah,
but that's what we've been talking about all year, right, is they're really hot and cold at the line. They'll shoot 80% one game and then 20% the next game. And, again, the last game we saw here that we called, they, I think, shot maybe 25% at the line. And that's why they lost that game, and that's why they lost, especially the last game in the tournament that they played. They weren't very good at the line. So that's a big factor into why they didn't go as far as they should have.
Do you have any predictions for how next season is going to be for either of these Kodiak basketball clubs?
Well, I don't know what you can say about the women. I mean, you can't do any better than what you did this year. So, I mean, I don't see them being any worse, but I don't know if they're going to be as good because they're going to lose some pieces, obviously. But the men, I think they'll be just as good next year. I think they're a pretty young team this year, so I'm excited to see what kind of happens next year. We aren't going to be here, obviously, to be able to call any of the games, but I'll still definitely follow along because it was a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, it was, and I really don't see how poorly we've really talked about their percentages and everything, they still ended up third in the country. So
No.
Yeah.
They were fourth, fifth, because they lost in the bronze semifinal.
Right.
So,
but still, like that, they still made it, and they're one of the top section of them.
Yeah, they were ranked 7th, so I mean, they still moved up when they came into this tournament.
And from there, with the core that they have now, they should in the next 2-3 years they should be able to have a title. Yeah,
I don't see why not. I mean, Robert Miles was really impressive that entire tournament. I think he won MVP for the Kodiaks, and they won that award for sportsmanship. So I mean, they got a good group of guys, good coaching staff. I don't think there's in both sides. I don't think there's anything to worry about. I think they're going to be competitive, and I'd say I don't want to say they're going to both make nationals next year, but they should definitely be competing for it.
Now, is the women's team going to be repeating?
As an undefeated team or just repeating?
Just repeating as both ACAC champions and CCAA champions.
Ooh. I think CCAA, there's no reason they can't. They walked over every single team. And again, they're going to be a good team next year. Brad Karen is Brad Karen. So I don't see why they can't. Nationals, I don't know. Again, they almost lost the semifinal game going into the gold medal game, so those games are a lot tighter because there's a lot of teams you haven't played before.
And the teams out east are really strong.
Different style of basketball, really. I think they'll definitely be a good team in the ACAC, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't win. But nationals is a whole different animal when you really go over, especially because it probably won't be in the West next year because it was in Edmonton this year. So time change and playing teams you've never played before and gyms you've never played before. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
All right, we're going to take a little break. This song break here goes out to Steve. And, we'll just...
Big ups to Steve.
Big ups to Steve. Hello and welcome back, everyone.
Everyone?
Is
everyone welcome back?
Everyone is welcome
All
back,
right.
especially you, Stephen. I am sorry.
You could have put yourself offside on that last move there.
Yeah.
A little offside for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Everything's good in the world again. Muting yourself. All right. Okay. I'll mute myself too.
I actually...
I'll do the Cole.
Do the Parkinson, just radio silence for no reason.
What do you want from me, man?
To talk.
About what? You guys are just talking to yourselves over there about muting each other.
Have some input there, Cole.
Okay, mute both of you. Both of you. What?
How do you feel about the WHL playoffs that begin this weekend?
Wee.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully we get an actual decent series between Lethbridge this year and maybe a couple wins. That would be nice. I'm hoping.
Couple wins? Just a couple? That's
yeah,
all you're
just
asking?
2 wins.
I'm expecting them to beat Red Deer. I mean, Red Deer's not a great team, but you never know. It's playoffs, right?
It's playoffs, but with how well Lethbridge has been playing in the last couple of weeks, it's kind of hard to see them falter that much. I mean, they've done it in the past, so we know that they're capable of it, but the way that they've been playing all year, even games where they have played bad, especially those... It was that 1 week where they would gain big leads and then give them up, where they'd be up by 4 and then end up losing that game late in the third. But I think being that they have a good veteran leadership group with Wong and Estefan and the guys that they brought in, you have a veteran guy in net with Skinner. So I don't really see them faltering as much where they are out in the first round.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if they were knocked out in the first round, especially playing a weaker team in Red Deer. They'd be really disappointing.
But Red Deer may be technically a weaker team, but Red Deer is one of those teams that don't really care where they end up, and they can win at any point. They're one of the sneakier teams that way, and it's going to be a good series to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Another interesting series, I think, it will be Moose Jaw and Swift Current and the Hitmen against the Pats, because now this is the time where Regina really has to prove it.
Yeah, I think Regina will. I think Moose Jaw will be kind of the big sleeper team.
Yeah, Moose Jaw's a good team.
They're a good team.
Yep.
I think they certainly could make a run for it next year. I don't know how deep they'll make it this year, but they got a lot of young, speedy guys on that team that could really create some issues.
And they really do believe in Tim Hunter's system that they got going over there, and he's really proven himself as a good coach.
Dub coach, for sure.
And Swift Current, watching them a couple times this year, they're a good, talented team, but they're very slow. Like a very slow team.
And they're inconsistent, I see it. Is they can be one of the best teams,
although they
scoring-wise, but then... they can go on a stretch and not do too good.
Yeah, but they can control the pace of the game really well, because when they're here in Lethbridge is a fast team. They like to move up and down the ice real quick and kind of put teams on the back of their heels.
Yeah.
But the whole game, Lethbridge was kind of playing to them and just very slow and just kind of playing along with them, as opposed to just trying to attack as quickly and as often as they can. So.
Yeah, they're definitely a team that needs to rely on their speed and skill and just kind of, outwork teams. So,
plus there's the weird teams that you always forget about that have made the playoffs, like the Silver Tips, the Royals. You forget about easily. Seattle somehow snuck into the playoffs, and Rochester. Like it's going to be a great playoff this year. It's just going to be weird to see these teams that you in your head. On paper, wouldn't think would make the playoffs, but they're matched up against other teams that you didn't think would make the playoffs, so they all have a chance to make a real good run.
Yeah, and then you can't even forget about Prince George as well.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about Medicine Hat, so there's definitely a lot of good teams that are going to be making pushes in this playoffs.
It'll be
and the Cougars really did go all in this trade deadline, And so it's going to be really exciting to watch them play against Portland because their styles are almost different.
I don't even think they had that strong ending to their season as well as I think that they hope to have.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that might light a little bit of a fire behind them to say, hey, this is the year that we know that we can go deep into WHL, maybe, head to the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
So, that's one team that everyone kind of has to keep their eye on.
How great would a Cougars Pats WHL final be?
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
That'd be
Two of the top teams. Yeah, that'd be a battle.
That'd be a good old 7-game series.
Yeah.
OT 7.
Yeah.
And
double overtime.
Brandon and the Tigers. Where do you see that going, Cole?
I'm from Coldell, which is right outside Lethbridge, so I want a Lethbridge Medicine Hat playoff. So I'm hoping Tigers pull it out and then they meet Lethbridge, so that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, Medicine Hat Lethbridge would be fantastic.
Yeah. But do you really think that that's how it's going to play out? I see this being one of the tighter ones, and almost, I hate to say, but it's on paper it looks to be kind of a boring series, just based off of
the Medicine Hat
Brandon, just because it's there's so many more exciting things going around that I feel like people might forget about it unless you're from Brandon.
Yeah, I feel like it could be a sleeper and not getting as much play in the media as people would expect. But at the same time, Brandon can go out and score goals. They got a lot of guys on that squad that can put the puck behind the goalie, and they can really take advantage of what's going on. So I feel like Brandon, is a team that can put it to a team.
Yeah.
And Medicine Hat is another one of those strong teams this year that has really, really, blown everyone away and surprised them at how good they actually were this year.
Yeah. And the other thing about Brandon is they do have the player who is expected to be drafted number 1.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun to watch him play and see how he does in this playoffs with all the scouts there.
Yeah, exactly. Because they could have a big impact on his draft stock going into the draft. So, I don't know if it'll knock him out of the top 3.
No, but if, say, he doesn't play the best series and they get swept by the Tigers,
the Tigres.
That they're not going to... he will slip.
Yeah.
As it is a weaker draft. So.
Exactly. The more you get to see him play in playoffs, I feel like that definitely gives a better indication than whatever they... And he was injured for quite a bit of this regular season, so...
A big chunk of the season.
Yeah.
But I think this year I have a lot of faith behind Lethbridge and how deep they're going to go, because when you look at, WHL stats, Tyler Wong, 3rd in the league in points and tied for 1st in goals, which I think, didn't really surprise a whole lot of people because they knew how good he was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to lead the league in goals,
and
I think that's huge.
Not only that, but he's a little guy.
Yeah, he's not huge.
And he doesn't play like it at all. He's 5'7" or...
Yeah.
He's not very big.
Yeah. And then, even when you look at...
and he still, gets in there, elbows up, scraps and all that. He
grinds
is a
out
true
there, man.
captain. He really does represent what this WHL is. And it's a real big reason on why the Hurricanes haven't made it to the playoffs 2 years in a row now.
Yep.
5'9" is Tyler Wong. And you really timed that Hurricane booth movement there. Ooh, I like it.
A little bit of that.
And it's even when you look at how well Skinner's been playing this year, he hasn't really blown anybody away, but he's been very consistent and hasn't had to win games. I mean, he's 2nd in the league in wins. He isn't in the top 5 in save percentage or goals against, but I don't think they really have to worry about it for how high-powered their offense is with Wong and Estefan. And then, you go down the line and you look at Zabrowski and all the guys they picked up the deadline. They can really move the puck.
I think Skinner's going to be real good in the playoffs. I mean, this is his draft year too, so he's going to want to look to boost his stock. I think he's one of the better goalies in the CHL, so I expect to see him go in the second round. So we'll see.
Now with Regina, if they take Calgary too seriously, because Calgary was pretty much one of the last ones to make their spot. They
really snuck in there.
Yeah, really tight. They've now made the playoffs 5 years.
The Blades were challenging them.
Yeah, like it wasn't the Himmins' best season. They started off slow, but they had a lot of games in hand, and they used that to their advantage. But now they've made the playoffs 5 years in a row after missing that one time when they were in the playoffs for about 15 years in a row or so before that. So this team, this franchise, has a lot of playoff experience in comparison to Regina. Do you think that Regina might accidentally take a little slip here? And I'm not saying like get swept out, but I'm saying potentially lose to a more experienced in the playoff team.
I don't think so. I mean, we've been talking about Regina all year and just how good they are. And again, they made playoffs last year too, so they're not going in inexperienced. I mean, again, it's the playoffs. If they get beat out, it sucks, and I would be shocked. But
and even
it's playoffs.
In Calgary's defense, even though that they were one of the last teams, like it was them and Saskatoon battling it out, they did beat Regina more than once this season.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Regina, I mean,
yeah, a little offside on the Go Saskatoon there.
Hey, I didn't say go Blades. I just said go Saskatoon in general. No, not a fan of Saskatoon?
It was just,
All right. But anyways, with Regina...
Hey, boys, it doesn't get any better than this.
There it is. That's all I've been waiting for. I can go home now.
That is one of our new hot buttons.
Yeah,
and it's probably our favorite.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of pressure on Regina this year to, for how well of a season they had, to go all the way to the Memorial Cup and potentially even win it.
Yeah.
But watching Calgary as well through a game or two here, one game again.
Not play good in Lethbridge at all. Eh?
No, and I watched a game up in Calgary against Brandon, and Brandon absolutely took it to them. I mean, they kind of held it together a couple times. Every time Brandon would come down and score, they'd come back and gain a little bit of momentum, but they could never really pick it up. And a team like Brandon, where they're a good team, but they're not at the elite level of the WHL this year. Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
That was kind of just a little bit, worrisome to see from Calgary, where they couldn't really get, the speed back up to come back against Brandon. So, but they could also, create, a couple issues for Regina. You never really know when it comes to matchups and things like that, and how things kind of pan out in the playoffs. Because playoffs.
Yeah. What does Red Deer have to do to beat Lethbridge in your guys' eyes here? Because I think they just have to. They just have to get early, quick goals, in my mind.
I think they just have to score more goals.
I was going to say win on the road is a big thing, because Lethbridge is going to be ready to go on Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah, I think winning on the road, those road wins...
You have to at least split the first two. Like, you have to go in there and split the first.
I think you just have to come out with a lot of tempo. The first game, you can't really, sit back
they can't ease into it.
Yeah, and feel it out.
Yeah, they can't do that at all. They really have to come ready to play. And I think that they have to match them in terms of speed and how fast Lethbridge plays. Because if you don't, then they're just going to keep hammering at you. And we've seen them do that a couple times this year. And Lethbridge has faltered a couple times against Prince George and Regina and, some of those really good teams, Medicine Hat. But, they can really come at you like when they went out to Saskatoon and PA and Regina. They really just hammered in the goals there. So Lethbridge is a high-paced offense that can really run up the goals. So I think that's got to be a huge factor for Red Deer to kind of come in and really make their own stamp.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see what kind of happens first game. I think that's going to be a big tell to see which team is going to take the early advantage, because I think that's going to be a big game in the series, the first one.
Alrighty. On that note, we're going to have a little bit of rock and roll.
Oh, rock and roll.
Ooh, rock and roll. That fade.
Ooh, a little quick one.
If you would have faded during the drum solo, the CRTC would be in here so fast to sue us because it's against the law to not hear the drum solo.
You can't make up your own CRTC laws, Cole.
Nope.
We've talked about this.
Nope. That's a law. Look it up.
Oh, that's close to offside, man. Making up rules?
Yeah.
Dude. That's like you're offside, but your foot's in the air. So we're just going to let you go by.
But it's true.
We got to go to review on that one. Yeah. Going upstairs, go to Toronto.
And then they'll see that he's in a Leafs jersey. They'll be like, oh, it's good. Austin Matthews.
That's a good goal. Yeah, it's a good goal.
Hey, who wants to grab a cold one?
Hey.
Yeah, sure.
Little milk.
You know what? I'm going to play the full 9-second one.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm talking hockey here.
Hey, who wants to grab a cold one? Hey, boys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Oh,
Boys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Nope, not at all.
Cheers to milk.
Of course.
Of course, for people who don't know, that is our favorite commercial of all time. That is the latest milk commercial. And if you still don't know what we're talking about, A, grow up, you need to. B, we'll tweet it out in a little bit.
Of course.
And B, you need your calcium. So
you have brittle bones.
Drink some milk.
Go grab a tall one.
Tall one of milk.
Yep.
Yeah. Are we going to go into our little hockey segment here?
Yeah, Cole, do you want to give us the NHL update?
Are we going to have a little Stomp a Tom?
For the score updates?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Let's go. St. Louis beats Vancouver 4-1. Sorry, Steve. Philly wins 3-1 over Minnesota.
You can't win them all.
Nashville beats Calgary 3-1. Sorry, Perella.
It's all good.
Ottawa beats Pittsburgh 2-1. Toronto Maple Leafs beat New Jersey 4-2. Go Maple Leafs.
You can't win them all.
But Toronto can. They're 7-1-1 Carolina beats Montreal 4-1.
Like they won them all. That
Florida
sounds like 2 losses.
Florida.
Hold on.
No, you can't say, we win them all.
I didn't say we win them all. I said we're 7-1-1.
You can't win them all. Yeah, we are winning them all. 7-1-1.
Said we're 7-1-1.
We can win them all. 7-1-1.
You guys are just mad. You guys.
And then, that is how Cole got fired, and the show became 2-on-1. That, kids, is how I met your mother.
2-on-1. There's a lot of good hockey going on as of late.
Dude, you guys wouldn't last as 2-on-1. Steve already walked out tonight.
That's true. Let's get back to the scores.
All right.
Florida beats Arizona 3-1. Tampa beats Boston 6-3. Washington beats Columbus 2-1 in a shootout. Winnipeg is currently up 1-0 over LA in the first. Edmonton is down 4-2 to Colorado. Ouch in the third.
Ouch.
Chicago is up over Dallas 2-1 in the third.
Wow.
That's it.
Alrighty. What do you want the jump-off point to be today, Steven?
The jump-off point that I would like to talk about, and I'm kind of going to regret this right away.
We're talking Maple Leafs, aren't we?
I would like to talk about the Atlantic Division. But I would only like to talk about it briefly, and I don't want to talk much about the team in blue.
Okay.
But I just want to really emphasize that the Atlantic Division right now is currently
it's getting tighter now. It's
currently being held by all 3 Canadian teams.
Yeah.
Last year, not having a Canadian team in the postseason, having 3 in the Atlantic Division, a lot of people didn't expect Toronto to be there at all.
Nope.
Nobody expected Ottawa to be there.
Nope.
In the second seed, and as consistent as they have been all season long. Everyone expected Montreal to be there.
No. Everyone expected Montreal to be there as long as Carey Price stayed healthy.
Yeah, but they have Carey Price, right?
Yeah, but did everyone trust that they would keep Price healthy all season? Because I did not.
No, but everyone expected them to at least be in a playoff spot the entire year, right?
I guess.
They didn't really expect them to be, running away with the league as well as they did in the first half. And they faltered now slightly.
Because they remembered that they're not good without Carey?
Yeah, exactly. But But, I really just want to emphasize that, in the Atlantic Division right now,
keep her going. I like it.
Yeah, good choice right there. All three teams are Canadian. And then, moving to the West, how Edmonton, they've faltered quite a bit in the last few weeks here.
Yeah.
They're still holding third in the Pacific, in Calgary, after their hot streak, they're neck and neck with Edmonton right now.
And they're just a feather behind Anaheim.
Yeah, exactly. So
see what I did there?
I did.
Because Anaheim
like
are
that.
ducks.
Yeah.
That was good.
Ducks have
like
feathers.
But yeah, I think just the Canadian teams overall this year have been a big surprise. And it's just a little unfortunate that
5 out of 7 isn't bad considering it was 0-7 last year, right?
Especially since, it's one less team than 2 years ago for Canada. Because Winnipeg was in, and all three Atlantics were in, and it was Calgary, Vancouver, Winnipeg. So it's just one less.
Yeah.
So
and I think Winnipeg really could have pushed to make it to the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
But having Laine on that team and kind of, I think they relied a little bit too heavy on them.
That top line, they relied a lot on them.
The thing about Winnipeg is they should be better than they are.
It's the goalies,
man.
Yeah.
Well, with the way that the goalies ended last season, you would think that they would be better and they would be at least fighting for a wild card.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But they haven't, and the problem is they're not staying out of the box. And even when they did make the playoffs 2 years ago, they were the most penalized team in the league.
Yeah.
And they were up 4 games out of the 4 games that they lost in the playoffs against the Ducks.
And they got swept. So
right. But they were still leading until the last minute. So Winnipeg should be there.
Yeah,
they're not.
Yeah.
They got better since they did in that playoff series. It's just the difference is
Winnipeg is a good team, and you know what? I kind of hate to say it, but they really should move Dustin Byfuglien. I mean, I like Dustin Byfuglien. He's a great piece of the team. Everyone in Winnipeg loves him. But for the return that you could get for him, and he's been on this team, for the past 4 years? 3-4 years?
He's been for that franchise since 2010 Cup. Like, since after Chicago won that first Cup.
Yeah, but then he was in Atlanta for 2 seasons with the Thrashers, and then they got moved to...
what year is it, Steve? It's 2017 there.
2017.
He's been there, so he's been there for 6 years.
Has it been full 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Good math.
Thanks.
Winnipeg has been there for 6 years?
Yeah, it's wild.
No, that franchise. We're just talking about franchise here.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter about Winnipeg, because he's still been with them.
Okay. Well, I'm just talking Winnipeg right now, and I think that they should. I think that they should move him just for the return that they could still get on him.
But they made that choice last year with, is it going to be Ladd or is it going to be Byfuglien? And they chose to keep Byfuglien, which is the smarter choice.
Yeah.
He's carrying a big contract, like $7.6 million. Ooh.
Right. So to move him, they have to move that big contract. Plus, they'll probably have to retain some of that salary if they want to get enough back. And on top of that, they're not going to be able to find a top-tier defenseman like that anywhere else.
No.
And you can't get rid of those assets at this point of the league.
It's tough. Like, I like Byfuglien. He's a great player, but, he hasn't really pushed them to where they need to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and what you're saying kind of makes sense, but at the same time, when you look at everything and look at if Tyler Myers can stay healthy next season, they should be able to do better. When Winnipeg, what Winnipeg needs to do is they need to get a new GM, they need to get a new coach.
Not a fan of Maurice?
No. I like Maurice. Cheveldayoff hasn't done anything.
They're not doing enough to have these guys actually worried about their jobs, having these guys actually play different, not be in the box for most of the game.
Yeah, if they don't can Cheveldayoff in the next year or two, they'll have an issue with fans coming to games.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that, but I think there's definitely more of an outcry.
For too long for them to.
Yeah,
really
no, but like
I'm
not saying that they'll be gone where they'll be talking relocation right away. I'm just saying that, you know, a lot of fans will be very unhappy.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to quit going to games, but I think they're definitely going to be a lot more vocal about getting rid of him. Because, I mean, they can't flirt with that too much, not showing up. And they just got Line A, and that's a big draw, so I mean...
Yeah, I know, but like when you think about what Cheveldayoff has done...
Oh, yeah, he hasn't been good. I'm not saying he has been.
And there's a difference between, like, in the whole scheme of it, there's a difference between being patient with either the players with the way they develop, or with how long you keep them, or trade them, or anything of that, or how long they stay on the ice before you send them in the press box. Like, that management group, there's a difference between being patient, which is what they say they're doing, and just not doing your job, which is what they're actually doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at Trouba. You know?
But he
right? Like, all I have to say is Trouba, and everyone's just like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, geez, what they've done with him, and it's like, you know, a lot of defensemen would just, like, would love to be there in a Canadian city, you know, with a great fan base.
But it's always been different for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Winnipeg sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
it's not a top destination anywhere.
I was trying to cut Winnipeg a break there, but...
No, it's pretty hard.
Sorry, rest of Canada.
Like,
we have Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It's Winnipeg. Like, it's really cold.
Yeah.
It's really snowy.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing to do except for visit the Forks, which you can't do in the winter, which is the only time they are there.
Yep.
Like, I don't blame the kid for saying he wants to go, but, like, if they were doing better, he'd suck it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think everyone would.
Yeah.
But they're not doing well. I'm sorry, Patrick Laine.
Hey, man, we don't know. Like, what's the city he came from in Finland like?
Yeah, it's probably not a lot different.
Too, like,
yeah.
I'm sure he's doing fine there. And the city loves him, so, I mean, I'm sure he's having a ball over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to 3-year-olds' birthday parties. He's having a ball. Yeah.
Weird.
Did you not see that?
I did not see that.
Oh, he got, like, a invitation handwritten from, like, this, like, 3 or 4-year-old in Winnipeg.
He was like, oh, I'll go, why not?
Yeah, and, like, he didn't reply, but he just showed up with a couple of the boys.
That's a pretty baller move.
Like, he's a star already. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Between him and Scheifele, like, those guys are going to run that team. Like, they're going to be good. Yeah. Eventually. They just need to... Those goalies are going to figure themselves out. They're young, so I'm not worried about that.
And they brought up Hutton too quick. Yeah, he had a great end of the season, but he's not a one. He's a young man.
Yeah.
He's not ready. He's a goalie.
Do you think they should go after a veteran goalie here in the offseason? Maybe go after a guy like Ryan Miller?
Yes.
Take a flyer on him.
Miller needs to suck it up. You're not playing in California, buddy. Like,
there's no room for him down there.
Exactly.
No. Unless he wants to be
like
a true backup.
If they're trading Budai, you're not signing there.
Yeah.
And Bishop, he probably won't go there. So, like, Miller needs to suck it up and go to a real team with good people in front of him, and I think he can do that.
In Winnipeg. Yeah, that's just tough. Like, when you're a goalie at that age, it's like, yeah, I'd like to just kind of cool out and go to somewhere nice and you know, play
hopefully
in
make
Florida.
the playoffs. Yeah.
And you know what? Coming from Buffalo, he should be used to Winnipeg. Like,
that's true. They're very similar.
Like, Winnipeg is the Buffalo of Canada.
Winnipeg's a little bit better than Buffalo, so I mean, it's a little bit of an upgrade. So
it's no Vancouver, but
no. Vancouver is lovely.
But I'll tell you what, it's better than playing goalie for HC Davos.
Yep.
And so if he's not playing in Winnipeg, I think that's where he'll end up.
Or he'll retire. I don't think he'll go over. I think he would retire before that.
Stockton, California. Like, you know what I mean? Like, AHL, Spangler Cup, or Winnipeg. I'd take Winnipeg every time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a hard choice.
No.
If the playoffs kind of shape out to where it's an Edmonton-Calgary Battle of Alberta first round, how do you think that will be a little bit of a cakewalk? I put that in quotations, cakewalk for Calgary.
No.
No, because of number 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say I would pick Edmonton to win that.
No, I would not.
I would.
Like that's why I put Cakewalk.
Edmonton has beat Calgary all year, and I think they would.
Okay,
I'm not saying it's going to be.
Calgary was playing the worst hockey that we have ever seen them play.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Calgary has made the playoffs before, so it's not going to be a psycho, right? If Moose keeps playing like Moose is playing, and
wait, they signed a Moose?
Yep. Huh. Elliot Moose. He's on the loose, and he's stopping pucks and taking names. And
oh no.
That was disgusting, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I hated every sentence.
Throw yourself offside. Don't mute yourself.
Just offside.
Just offside and keep going. Okay?
Turn it up. It wasn't loud enough.
Yeah. Let everyone.
Yeah.
There.
That hurt my ears.
It should.
You hurt a lot of ears.
Anyway.
Continue.
I forgot my train of thought, Steven.
Moose and net.
Yeah, Moose.
Yeah, and Talbot is very finicky boy.
Yeah, but that's all you got to do is get hot in the playoffs, and look at Pittsburgh last year.
Moose has not been hot. Moose has been hot in this back half, but Talbot has still been really shaky in these last few games. So
yeah, true, but I mean, he's got time to turn around. The season's not over yet. I would love to see that series, man.
The defense in Calgary is better now,
yep.
right?
Oh, it's definitely a better defensive
and Stone is better. Ferland, for the first time in his career, is being consistent.
Yeah.
Right?
I would still think Edmonton. There's just something about McDavid in big games.
But see, I don't know.
But then you had guys like Brouwer and Gio, and I'll even put Gaudreau in this, who shine in the playoffs. Yeah, sure, we've only seen it once with Gio and Gaudreau.
Mm-hmm.
But Brouwer was a huge part, as well as Elliott was, for St. Louis to make it as far as they did last year. Mm-hmm. And then you add on top of that to Chuck, if he plays like his dad in the playoffs, like he has been this last little bit.
As long as he doesn't get suspended, right?
Did you say Tkachuk, or is it Tkachuk?
Tkachuk.
Is it properly Tkachuk, or is it Tkachuk?
I think it's Tkachuk, but I could be wrong.
No, there's a T.
Tkachuk.
Nothing.
Silent T.
Tkachuk.
I don't know.
Tkachuk.
I don't know.
Oh, flip your bacon. I don't care.
I just wasn't sure if.
Sure, Tkachuk. We'll do that then. And then, so if Tkachuk plays like Keith, we'll be good. And yeah,
little bit of flying elbow.
Yeah. What? How did you feel about that?
Oh, that was a 2-game suspension for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought just because it was first offense that he might get a fine or a game, but then again, you put that it's up against Drew Doughty. That had some. But I'm saying if Doughty did it to someone, or if Tkachuk did it to Dumba, or someone not really as known, it wouldn't have been that. It's just because it happened to Drew Doughty.
Yeah, but that's superstar treatment. Though,
yeah,
right?
That's hockey.
That's like any sport.
Yeah, like Nelson and I were looking over at Iginla highlights from back in the day. There were some real dirty hits there that were not called.
Yeah, and for me, that whole suspension, I was saying 2 games for sure on that one, and even if it wasn't on Doughty, I would still be saying 2 games. It was the fact that he stopped, made contact, and he went up.
Yeah, with the elbow.
That
was my thing.
If he had just stopped and went straight into his chest, and just rocked him, cool, clean play, hockey hit.
I'm fine with that play. Like that's Tkachuk's game.
I'm fine with it, yeah.
Even if it was like just a touch late, I'd still be fine with it. Maybe give him a penalty for an interference or something. But just being that he went up, was really the selling point. And I don't even care when you say first offense. I think when you go that extra step,
into player safety, that's really what they tend to look at, right?
Yeah, and I think it's slightly bogus at
to me,
times.
it reminded me a lot about Roussel and how he plays.
Yep.
Reminds me a lot of late 80s hockey.
Yep.
So I was okay with it, because it's Tkachuk, and B, I love that older, harder hitting type of hockey.
Yeah,
so
and it's okay to be physical.
And it wasn't really till I saw it slowed down where I understood
what they were suspending for. Yeah. Before we go any further, there's a media advisory out right now for the NHL.
Okay.
Mumps?
The NHL is to make a special announcement in China on Thursday, March 30th.
So they're going to China but not Korea?
Yeah, that's what it's sounding like. A little
but
preseason
the
games.
IOC say... This is weird. How do you guys feel about what Gary Bettman said about probably...
Assume?
Yeah, assume.
I mean, it's been dragged out so long, I wasn't surprised him saying that. Like, he hasn't for sure said it.
And that hasn't changed anything that we thought. The only real news that actually did come down today is that the IOC is giving the NHL until April, the end of April, to
finally decide, yeah.
Which is weird because in Sochi it took till the end of June for the NHL to decide.
Yeah, it's dragged out too long already. I don't know if they're going to go. Like... I don't know, man. I think it's a coin toss right now. Like,
yeah. I mean,
the players want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the NHL doesn't want them to go.
Yeah.
And what we've learned is if the NHL doesn't want something, it goes the NHL's way.
Here's the thing. When you have... Now you get into the debate about players leaving, right? Because the owner of Washington said that he will not stop any of his players from going to play for the national team. Right?
The Sens owner said he wouldn't let people go for the most part. So I think it's going to be a real fight.
But who from the...
Erik Karlsson wants to
then,
go.
Well, he can also just not show up to camp.
That's such a slippery slope.
It is, but it's also a thing that can happen. If you're not letting your captain go play for his team...
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, that happened to them in 2006 with Dominik Hasek. He got hurt in the Olympics and really cost them when he was like the best goalie at that time playing for Ottawa. That's where he's coming from. So I understand what he's saying. Like, and it would hurt the fan base too because they would be mad because he's going to play for Sweden, right? And most of the fans are Canadian. So you're sending your best player to play against the team that they're cheering for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, the best players in the world should be able to go play in the tournament made for the best players in the world.
Oh, I'm on the player's side on this one, but it's just...
And the owners can say Tavares as much as they want, but, you know, it hurts them and hurts them from getting the best players to sign with them once this happens. And I think the slippery slope of... some owners saying yes, you can go, and some owners saying no is worse.
There has to be a
I think
rule.
That's worse.
There has to be a rule that either they say you're allowed to or not allowed to.
Because say Washington lets all their players go, then they don't make the playoffs. Well, it's because we let our players go play in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, exactly. Like, it's going to be bad news for both sides.
Especially when you have people like Gaudreau, McDavid, Monahan, Taves, all these people that, especially when they're growing up, because they're younger, it's almost as if the Olympics kind of means more than the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I think in some ways...
That one's a tough one, too.
In some ways it does, and in some ways I say that's really wrong.
Especially when you get to the younger people, like Cole's and mine's age, it's the Olympics means so much. You're not waking up at 3 a.m. to watch a Stanley Cup final, but you will wake up at 3 a.m.
Well, it just depends who's playing, right?
I stayed up all night to watch the game in Sochi.
Yeah.
124 hours.
Gold medal?
Yeah, the gold medal game. Oh, yeah.
I took a little bit nap.
A little bit of a nap?
A little bit of a nap.
Yeah.
With Jonna Johnson.
Did you? Wow.
Yep. It was very nice.
Good cuddler?
Good snuggler. How do you feel about the Vancouver Canucks snuggling together, Steve?
I don't care about the team snuggling at all. Are you going to play it?
No.
Are you going to find it?
No.
Struggling. Yep.
That's me. All right, what was your team doing?
They're snuggling.
Nice.
Snuggling good.
No, yeah, that was good. That was
right here in Lethbridge.
This is considered content. Yes?
Yeah, sure.
It is content.
Right. Yep. Let's go content.
We're going to take a break. Steve's favorite song from Steve's favorite girl.
Let's do it. It's a good movie as well.
Shout out to the movie that this is from.
Hello, we are back, and it is just a quick little intro into this one because you know how we do. We like to catch you off guard.
Radio was
catch
struggling.
Off guard. You know?
Always.
Oh.
I wasn't eating a powdered donut.
You know, just getting snacks here and there.
Of course.
Nummy.
We sorry about that. We just took a little nap there. A little nap break. A little coffee nap.
Yeah.
Right, Cole?
Sure.
Cool.
Haven't drank any coffee.
Oh, okay. Not at all today?
Just this morning.
Whew.
Wow, slowing down here.
Impressive.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go right into golf. 4.
That was good. Good timing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The Masters are coming up. 11 days away.
Cannot wait.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, as I just said, I cannot wait.
I know. You kind of beat me to it. You jumped the gun a little bit.
But he was sticking with that line.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah. Big news, Adam Hadwin, Canadian, made his way into the tournament after winning the Valspar Challenge.
Of course.
The Valspar.
Yeah,
Great name.
A couple weeks ago.
So that's 3 Canadians now in the Masters?
I believe it's just 2 right now. The last time I checked, I believe it was just 2, and one of them is Mike Weir. Because all past champions automatically get to play in the tournament, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Weir hasn't been good for the last 10 years, but
comeback time is now.
But it's nice that they still get to go and play the weekend.
Yeah.
But Adam Hadwin, he's had a few good tournaments, and then he really just busted onto the scene this year, winning that tournament. Do you think that he's kind of the new...
Hughes is also in the tournament.
Oh, all right.
So,
but do you think Hadwin is kind of the new face of Canadian golf right now? I mean, Graham DeLette was really... He's not gone.
No, but he's still the most known. And I think after this Masters, I think that's when the change is going to happen.
Yeah, because DeLette was really hot there for the longest time, finishing in the top 5 in a bunch of tournaments, but he never came away with a win. He played in the Masters, was 2 years ago?
Yep.
2 years ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago now, and everyone was kind of expecting him to really make a big push there, but he didn't, and since then he hasn't really... It seems like he's been going too many Calgary Flames games in Arizona.
Too many Calgary Flames games.
In Arizona. Not in Calgary.
Yeah.
In Arizona.
Yeah, well...
I love...
He's the only season ticket holder, so...
He's got to go. He's got to show up.
Yeah.
That's the only time really anyone tends to go to the Arizona games.
Is when a Canadian team is playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And
there.
It's all the retirees. And oh yeah, there's hockey here.
Do you think you think Tiger's gonna play in the Masters this year?
I hope he doesn't.
No, are you not a Tiger fan?
Nah, man, it's time to
pack it up.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, man, he sucks.
I wouldn't go as far to say that he sucks. He's not playing well right now.
He's very mediocre.
That has been the story for how many years now?
Seems like a lot.
Well, since we all know when.
Yeah.
But even before that,
my grandma stopped being a fan.
Even before that, when he hurt his knee back in 2008, I believe it was.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been the same since then. But, I mean, I've watched Tiger my whole life growing up, and just so electric.
Was
so electric. And, it's like Wayne Gretzky retiring from hockey, or just, any player retiring.
The difference is how and why. Like, Gretzky could have played a season or 2 more.
He could have played way more, I think.
Yeah.
The thing is, with Tiger, is he should have retired a season or 2 ago.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But at the same time, golf is so different, where you can play until you're 6.
For the thing is, it's like if Tim Thomas was still playing.
Timmy T.
Stop.
Okay, but that's a little bit different because Tim Thomas was never even close to the same level as an athlete as Tiger was.
Yeah, but don't you feel it's kind of diminishing what he did? Like, he was so good, but he's been so bad. Like, and that's what people are knowing him for now.
No one's really going to remember until they watch. They're like, oh, Tiger Woods.
It's like a TV show that should have ended 5 years ago on top of its game. Right?
Yeah, but at the same time, you know that
it's like Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, what's wrong with Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah, it should have been done like 3 seasons ago.
That's true. Is it still on air?
Yeah.
Holy
and they renewed
moly.
it for like 2 more seasons, man.
Wow.
Yeah, just
Not
stop.
good.
McDreamy is dead.
Ooh, that's a spoiler.
No, it's not.
Wait, Patrick Dempsey died in the show?
You're not funny.
Kirsten's been watching it, and...
big spoiler.
Well,
yeah.
She's not listening. I know that because she tried to FaceTime Steve 2 segments ago in the middle of him talking.
Yeah, she did. She was too busy watching Grey's
Anatomy.
Yeah, she wanted to talk to me about Grey's Anatomy.
And now we're doing it here anyway,
yeah,
so...
Exactly.
She should have called in. She could have given us a live update.
Yeah.
Live update of an old show.
Yeah. Well,
it's still going on.
It's still going, so it's not.
But old episodes is what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying
and
that
when George got hit by the bus, this is crazy. Then they did the stupid musical episode.
But with Tiger Woods, he's a legend in the game, and he could still pull out another major.
No.
I don't know, man.
There's that tournament a couple months ago where he was the only one trying, and he still didn't win.
Yeah, I don't know about Tiger anymore, man.
I don't know. I don't think I can ever let Tiger.
He doesn't have the bite anymore, man. His heart's in it, but he can't do it.
I can't believe I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah. Here it comes.
The wonderful thing about Tiger is he's the only one.
No.
And he needs to stop.
Nope.
Yep, that's it.
That's not what...
I'm with it, bro.
Tiger Woods needs to...
it's not what I was waiting for.
Put the rain cover on his bag.
Still not. Still not what I was looking for.
Keep going.
No, don't know what you're looking for, man.
Cole, do you know?
Yeah, I know. He knows, too. He's just being Brell, and I kind of like it.
He doesn't want to do it.
No, good. Keep the audience waiting.
I'm excited to watch Mackenzie Hughes.
Oh.
He did it so badly. I'm muting you for that.
Yeah, that was an offside play. Oh.
Steven.
Yeah. Double offside for turning it off.
He knew that he would do it, so he turned it off, so I looked dumb. He turned off the...
Let's see. Was that your game plan the entire time?
No, I wasn't even close. I'm sorry at how bad that was. It was because I was half laughing.
It's so bad because that is a terrible, thing. It's a really bad growl in the first place, and the fact that you made it worse...
I'm sorry. It was because I was laughing, but it was a very bad roar.
Super bad roar.
Yeah, super bad.
Super bad.
Great film.
Movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Who's your kind of favorite right now, Cole, to kind of
win it?
Yeah.
Or to be the underdog to watch?
No, who's your guy?
Who's my guy? I don't know. I'm not really a golf guy, so I don't have a favorite.
Ty guy, your guy?
No. Tiger's not playing, and he's never winning another major ever again. Sorry, Steve. It's not going to happen.
All right. Think what you think. But I think this year, in terms of who's going to really kind of maybe run away with it, is either Ricky
Bobby, shake and bake.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby, or Rory, the guy from Ireland.
Ooh.
I've really been thinking
McIlroy.
Rory, it's kind of his turn.
It's his turn again.
Just because of how...
Can't just have... There's not only just one turn. You need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you know?
Yeah, or he could, pull a Bubba and be really bad when he shows up, and then once everyone forgets that he won one, he'll just be like, oh, hey, here.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of really good golfers playing right now, that top 4, I mean, when you look at Spieth, Day, Johnson, McIlroy,
Siwoo.
Mute yourself.
It's very close
Kim
to not
Siwoo
bursting out.
from Korea.
Oh, man, that was bad. Man. There is a lot of good players besides the person that you just said.
Mickelson could still probably pull a win out.
Yeah, Mickelson,
unlike Tiger, he could still win one.
Now why you got to be mean?
I don't know if that's not really mean. It's just the truth.
My sleeper, my sleeper right now would probably be Brooks Koepka, but he's kind of been he's kind of been that sleeper for the last few years, and he hasn't really pulled through. So not completely sold on him. But hopefully it's always good to see those sleepers kind of come in.
I kind of want to complete
things.
not unknown because they did make it to the Masters, but someone that
isn't a top golfer
that everyone would be like, oh yeah, it's very nice that he made it here, and maybe he'll do better next year. He might win a round. I just want someone like that to win it this year, because I think that would be great. I think that would be really funny to watch. And I don't mean Tiger Woods, Steve. So quit looking at me like that.
I'm not even looking at you.
Oh, I could feel you looking at me.
Not looking at you again.
Cool. You gonna answer the question, or just like?
I already did.
Yeah,
I'm not a golfer. I couldn't name.
To Google.
No, I'd like to see Adam Hadwin win. How about that?
All right,
good Canadian boy. How about Mike Weir? Does he even have a shot at coming close?
Mackenzie Hughes, is that your boy?
Hey,
thank you for participating.
Thanks.
It took you a struggle there, but you participated. So, round of applause to you. Thank you.
I'm going to get you a participation medal.
No, you're not.
For tomorrow.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
you're going to forget.
For tomorrow. I'm dabei to build your boat.
Oh, wait, what was that?
Nashing.
There we go.
Thank you for redeeming me.
All right. I definitely think that is enough golf talk for now.
Okay.
We will be back with more next week.
More.
I promise you. And I lost the theme. I don't know why. I'm so sorry.
Theme?
Yeah, this is called a theme, you doofus. And if you didn't understand from that...
From what?
From those songs...
Yeah. What about them?
It's time for baseball.
Hey! Let's play ball!
Baseball time!
Ooh. And we always leave it to last, and we are always out of time. We got
not enough time left.
Yeah, we always do that to ourselves.
Yep. 100%.
Every week we're like, let's save like 40 minutes for baseball.
Never happens.
Nope, 10 minutes, all you get.
Because we always go over on Kodiaks and Hurricanes.
And NHL.
And NHL. And golf.
Yep.
Yeah. Good golf talk, guys.
Yeah, good job. Especially you, Cole. Proud
Thanks,
of you.
man.
Yeah. You participated.
Yep.
Proud of you.
So, Stroman.
Whew, my guy.
6 innings.
My guy.
0 hits.
1 hit.
1 hit. Yeah, but it was...
it was...
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Is that how you saw that happening?
Yes and no. I knew he was going to come out and have a strong game. I didn't think he was going to go hitless for...
Through 6, yeah.
Through 6, yeah.
Yeah.
He's... Everyone's always had a little bit of doubt every time he comes out to pitch. No matter if he's on fire and really hot and pitching well, everyone always says, you know what, he won't overpower guys like Sanchez or Verlander or Scherzer can. You know?
Scherzer can.
Scherzer.
Can.
I don't know.
Can.
Why mimic that. But there's always been that little bit of doubt with Stroman. And he always comes out and really astounds people. And I think that's starting to change a little bit, being that he was named tournament MVP.
Do you think he's really cementing himself as a crunch time pitcher?
I think so. I mean, even in the playoffs, like, he's a big game pitcher. Like, I think, but you can't even really argue it now. Like,
yeah, because when you look at the playoffs last year and the year before that, you know, he was a stud. Through and through.
Like you, Steve. Stud muffin.
A total stud muffin.
Yeah, I think that was the exact quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Stroman really is really finding his own way, and I really think that the whole timing thing that he's doing with his pitches, I think is really working to his benefit. And it's not really throwing himself off his game.
Yeah, but it's definitely, like, you could see, like, even yesterday, I think it was Molina who called time, like, midway through him pitching.
Because
he had no idea. Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 pitchers where they couldn't...
Batters.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 pitchers
on the mound at once.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was like no one knew who was throwing the ball. That was my favorite part about the WBC. They make up their own rules.
But there's
4 balls at once. You just have to hit one.
Hit one, yep.
There's 3 or 4 batters that tried calling for time and wouldn't get it because Stroman was just starting, his motion. So it's like you can't call time when he's halfway through, right?
Yeah. Well, even the Molina one, like, he called time as soon as he threw the ball.
Yeah,
like.
And I think it's going to work in his favor now as well because the MLB is really trying to push the pace of the game.
Yeah.
So umpires aren't going to give players and catchers, every single timeout, right? So that's going to work to his benefit if he can mess up with the timing on hitters, just that half second,
And it's every pitch, too.
And make it less routine.
And it's not always like, when his leg's in the air or, when he starts his motion, he mixes it up so that you can't really predict where it's coming.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be one of those things that it's going to work for him. I mean, it worked in the WBC, so I don't see why it wouldn't work in the MLB. So
yeah, with the WBC, sorry, before we move on, did it feel like a playoff game to you? Did it have kind of the same weight as like, a postseason baseball game feels? Or
to me, it did.
Maybe for the first couple innings, but once it got out of hand there, I would not really.
Yeah, but that's how the postseason would go too, though. And I even think that the semis kind of had that postseason feel to them. The Dutch put up a better fight than I thought they would, and pushed the pace and everything. And
see, I love the World Baseball Classic, but I didn't get that feeling.
Really?
No. Like I was really excited, and I love the emotion that everyone has, especially Puerto Rico, Dominican, even the States.
Korea,
a lot of
Japan.
All the emotion. It's like watching the Olympics.
Yep.
But I just didn't have like that same kind of passion or fire in me watching it, where you're getting just as emotionally invested into it.
Is that because you're Canadian and your team sucks, or
no, not at all. Because every time Canada's in, I'm still cheering for them, even though this year I knew that they weren't going to be as good.
Yeah, but that can still detach you,
Yeah, I wasn't emotionally invested with the U.S. team, but I wanted them to win. Yeah. But it's not the same as when the Blue Jays are in the playoffs when I'm wanting them to win.
Someone I saw it on Twitter last night where a fan said, they should change it to every 2 years instead of every 4 years.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that'd be cool.
I think every 4 years. I like that. There's a nice little in between. Where every 2 years, I think it would grow stale.
I think what they would have to do, though, is do kind of a yearly tweet where it's like 1 more year till, because people
just one tweet.
1 tweet a year. It's like
every the same day every year.
Or a 4-year every day countdown of how long till the next one, because people do forget about this tournament.
Yeah, I really
it hits you.
I think they should move it to 2 years just because...
for a little bit to grow momentum and then maybe switch back, or figure out how to make it work with
the Olympics.
With spring training.
Because even when you look at hockey, hockey in the Olympics, everyone gets excited about it, and it's every 4 years. Yeah, but it's every 4 years, right? Or if you talk about basketball, like basketball in the Summer Olympics, that's the one main attraction or one main event that everyone...
Summer? Yeah, it's...
To the summer, right?
It's one of the...
That's the key
only
event.
Reasons I watch the summers basketball and wrestling.
But, those are every 4 years, but there's an Olympic every 2 years, so you still kind of get that dosage that you need. So I think that the WBC should go to the 2 years.
Unless what they do is kind of strike up a little deal with the NHL, where it's the WBC 1 year and the WHC in 2 years after that, kind of like the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I didn't care about it at all, but if they want to do a World Blank Championship whether it's baseball or hockey, and have that every 2 years and kind of play it off that way, that might be better.
Yeah,
that's an interesting idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
because we had both this year, and yeah,
I cared more. Yeah, I cared more about.
I cared more about the baseball for sure.
Yeah,
but who knows with how hockey's going to go with the Olympics? We might have to do it, and I think the whole funny part about, not to go back into hockey, but I think the whole funny thing about hockey saying we don't want to go to the Olympics because we'll hurt our players, but then still make up their own tournament to kind of take over the Olympics.
Yeah. But they get all the money. That's the big thing, right?
Yeah. But I still think it's great, and I want to see teams like Italy and those other, and Canada, like, get better because they are they're better than they were the last WBC, but once they actually say it is every 2 years, kind of grows it a little bit more. Insurance can get us our better players back.
Yeah.
Grow the game in Canada, make Canada better.
Yeah, I think they should move the final as well outside of the United States next year. Or next
4 years.
Yeah, I just think because, to make it a really World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I think the only problem there is it's during spring training, so all the teams are around one area.
Yeah.
So,
except
I don't know if they'll ever do that.
Is, okay, with it being in the middle of spring training, now Stroman he looked at least in mid-season form.
Yep.
Could this cause a potential injury?
No.
What do you mean, like just
to his arm because he's pitched at least 95?
No, they had pitched
and all that and everything, and he had to heat up his arm so quick already, right?
No.
I'm not too worried about that.
Because that's the little thing that I've been hearing is with guys like, because Stroman is still a younger player, and he has been hurt.
He also started a few spring games, so it's not like he went in there cold. So
Yeah, if you want to talk about injuries, and he's been hurt before. It's never been his arm. Mm-hmm. He's never hurt his arm. When he did tear his ACL, he was still working on his pitching. He was still working on his upper body. So I don't think that was ever an issue. Because especially when he came back after his ACL injury, his pitches were
they were right there.
Yeah, he didn't really miss a beat with his throwing. So I don't think that'll be a huge issue for him throughout the season. But
no, I mean, they didn't put him on a pitch count last year, so there's not much reason to put him on one this year.
Yeah, exactly.
And sorry.
No.
I was just going to say after, and they were all like,
hey, who wants to grab a cold one?
Yeah, exactly.
They did.
A lot of milk went around last night.
So much milk. Milk was flying. It was in their eyes. It was like someone won NASCAR.
But Cole and I were talking about this the other day. Who would be your Blue Jay opening day pitcher? Who would you tap?
I'd still have it either Stroman or Sanchez.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
still my two. Especially since the beginning of this season is pretty awkward with them playing against Baltimore and then like having a day off.
They did that last year too.
Right, yeah. But it's still awkward. I still don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
You're
still
excited
a weird,
it's
still a weird juggle that they're going to have to do, and it's going to, I don't want it to cause a slow start like it did last year, and I think starting them off at the beginning can.
But see, I still don't think, like, Sanchez clearly has earned the opening day start, but I don't think that they can make him the opening day starter.
Why? Because Stroman had such a good WBC?
No, not at all. It's because last year they were really restricting Sanchez's innings.
Right.
Right down to the postseason. They didn't want to pitch him in the postseason. They didn't even want to pitch him in September.
Yeah,
but I think the pitch limit is off this year.
But he did it, and he didn't really complain about it, so he deserves it. He's earned it.
Yeah, he has.
Let him do his job.
Yeah, I know, and I think this year they'll take off the innings limit.
Yeah,
and let him kind of go free reign.
Mm-hmm.
But I think,
or not publicly say it as much as they did last year.
Yeah, and I think that for me, opening day starter will be Stroman or Happ.
I don't see any reason to start Hap. Like, if you're gonna start someone, it's got to be Stroman. Like, Stroman or Sanchez have to be the guys. Yeah. They're the pitchers of the future. J Hap might not be here next year, so why start him opening day?
No, Hap will be here next year.
I don't know.
He signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if they're going to keep him past that.
Yeah.
I can see them trading him this offseason if he has another good year, and they want to start Biagini next year.
Depending what they need for the postseason, he could be gone by this trade deadline.
I don't know if they'll trade him at the deadline or if it'll be an off-season move.
Because I'd lean more to off-season just because if the starting five are like they were last year, you can't move any of those guys.
Yeah, just because if a pitcher goes down, in September or something like that. Or
I know, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying we don't know where they'll be by then.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if they're in a playoff spot.
Say that they are in a playoff spot, but something's really hurting, and it's either Hap, Stroman, or Sanchez that you have to give up to fix this so you can win the World Series. I'm giving up Hap.
I would say Estrada or Liriano before, because Sanchez and Stroman have to be the two guys that you cannot even consider trading them unless you're getting Mike Trout back.
Yeah, those guys are untouchable.
Yeah.
I mean, because they were talking about trading Stroman for Charlie Blackmon in the summer, which was a terrible deal. But the Blue Jays shot. They shot that one down real quick.
Yeah, that shouldn't have even got out. Like that, they should have said no straight off the bat.
No,
like that would have been a huge loss.
Huge loss.
Like I think our outfield is fine, but I mean Stroh, the way he pitched in the WBC, like if he even continues anywhere near that, I think we'll be all right for starting five.
Final question for you two before I hit the extra. Steve, you put the intro in again. Before I hit the extra, is this the year for the Blue Jays to get a Golden Glove outfielder?
We're going to start this one. I don't even know if we'll have.
We don't have enough time. He should have won the last 2 years. That's what I'm going to say.
Question.
Yes, I think it is the year. Last year I was a little bit worried that he would be a little bit unproductive, or he
wouldn't live up to what he did the year before.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt like, he may have taken a step back, but he silenced everybody and had another fantastic year. And for some reason, the voters gave it to Kevin Kiermaier,
who played less games, and it was just like none of it made sense.
Yeah, he's hurt, but still give him the Gold Glove.
Yeah.
So that one made absolutely no sense to me. So I think he's going to come out and have another good year. He may hopefully play a little bit better at the plate. Because he is a good base runner.
Yeah. He doesn't get on enough.
That's that was his whole issue last year. So I think that this year will be his year.
Yeah, I really hope so. I mean, if not, if they give it to Kiermaier again, I don't know, that would be kind of outrageous, just the way that Pilar's played the last 2 years.
Thanks for listening to 3 on 1. Stay tuned to the Kodiak every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.